Hello and welcome. I am Black Wax, and here with me today is Verts. This is the Go Mode Mentor Tournament podcast. I said that wrong.
Yeah, I think you're a little mixed up there. I think for more than a few reasons, perhaps. Yeah. So these two racers tonight are actually former participants in the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament, and we were excited to see them here. It's a really interesting matchup. They raced against each other in that tournament. So yes, and as Aura was pointing out, we also have two Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament veteran racers as well on comms.
Yeah. So we all raced against each other. So we're kind of having fun with it right now. But we're also really excited to watch them race because they were in the same group and they both got into brackets. And then we raced against them in a four-way match. And
interestingly,
they have not had a one-on-one match where it was within a 3-minute margin, or where it wasn't within a 3-minute margin. And so we're getting started now. Not really much in Link's house, although 50 rupees is nice to start. They both kind of do the same start, but once you hit Dark World access, there's going to be a huge divergence. And that's mostly because Senen likes to do all the glitches that you're allowed to do, and Zeitnix, with the exception of fake flippers and dark rooms, likes to stay in logic.
I can see value in both ways. You know, it's if you follow the logic, you're definitely safe. You don't mess yourself up by doing anything quote wrong. But if you break the logic, that could be to your benefit.
And the ice rod hunt is over.
Nice to get that early for sure. Of course, with it being early, you know that Turtle Rock will be a pendant.
And not the green one, so there's going to be hardly any value to it.
It looks like we'll get a bit of a lumberjack check on Zeitnix's side, while Senen is just going to go straight into Lost Woods.
More money, that's not bad. Ooh, 300 on the ledge.
Yep, that is not going to be worth it to spend the time on Aga 1. We're both nicely fully stocked on bombs, so off into the village we go.
Oh boy, that's an early book. That's annoying. At least it's like right there and not, you know, oh, I'm gonna do all my light world checks and you find it way later. I would actually suspect both of them, because Zeitnix is gonna have that book here in a second. Go check Dam, and then Nagina's, and then just go right into Desert.
My apologies there. My internet dropped for a sec, but I heard you right at the end there, Wax, say, might go straight into desert, and that was my thought as well.
And Kakariku's not yielding much so far, and there's only about 4 more checks left. So, what do you think the Go Mode item is going to be today?
Oh, that's always a risky conversation. I've seen a lot recently somehow Go Mode hook shots. So it's tempting to think of that. I've also seen Go Mode Kane and experienced Go Mode Kane a lot. So I'm always tempted by those two.
I always go with the bow because it makes it so that if anybody dips Eastern or Pod early, it's not as bad because the other person probably did it too.
Yeah, end up with maybe a little bit of, okay, never mind. I was about to say Senen looks like he might be skipping the dam, but just kind of took an alternate route to, oh no, I was right when I was about to say that. He's skipping the dam for right now. He's heading straight on over to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Man, Bomb Mini Moldarm Cave is rough. He does have a couple shots with that Ice Rod that will kill them.
Yeah. Oh, nice and full magic.
Oh, now he's got a few.
Too. There you go. Like to see that. Wow, that was a good
that
bomb
throw. That was pretty impressive.
Man, that was like ideal.
Still nothing. Yeah, oh, there's Quake in the dam.
Yep, and you certainly hope that that's going to be valuable later.
Well, if you like the runners, you hope it's going to be valuable later.
Right.
If you don't, you're like, hope that they're
yes.
stuck running around looking for that. Senen, be careful.
Yeah. Whew, all right, he'll make it. Nice.
Oh, it's a good thing he did too. Yes. That's the moon pearl.
Yeah, you would have hated to, you know, that's an early death. It's really easy to take. You'd feel extra bad with that item there.
And both of them making that Bomb Mini Moldorm Cave easy, and it is not.
Yeah, those Moldorms will either be your best friends in there, or you're more likely your worst enemies. Total nightmare. Okay, so we've got Senen at least heading to Sahasrarla's hut here. We'll see if he decides to dip into Eastern with it being a pendant. Possible, but always a little tricky.
It makes it easier to dip the dungeon when it's dependent, just because the likelihood of having to have to come back is really low.
Yeah, especially with Eastern, you can get pretty much everything here without a weapon. Weapon makes it nice. If you're going to do the dark rooms, it's helpful to have a sword, but you don't really need it if you're practiced with it.
Well, I doubt he'll do it because it uses magic. You can also use that blue cane to see exactly where you are.
Yes. You can just go back to Mini Moldarm Cave and get a full magic refill. It's a big time investment, but you could, in theory, do it. Just here to provide bad routing advice for the racer.
Man, they're kind of just following each other with the exception of Zeitnix checking the dam. And it's kind of looking like Desert might actually be the play at this point. I mean, they still have Hyrule Castle and the Back of Escape, but the more chests they open without finding anything, they're going to be looking at that book going, maybe I should do that.
When it gets down to, you go to the castle, hey, there's some flippers. That opens up some water checks. That makes Zora more interesting. But with those added in, it's getting down to castle checks for desert.
I doubt we see flipper checks right now, because I don't have money for Zora. Although Senen looks like he's going directly there to prove me wrong.
This is the danger of predictive commentating. You're always at risk. Hey, okay, that's interesting. With the cape on the island.
That could be something or nothing. It depends on what's on the bumper ledge.
I'm trying to think, most convenient way we've seen in this seed to get money, and Oro is pointing out, you don't have gloves. So your ability to go into caves with the thieves to get money is limited. You do get a shovel on Senen's side. But
you can use that shovel to get money.
Exactly. You can do that. You can use the bush crabs to get 5 rupees with each little shot they give off. But that's about it.
Yeah, I think back a blind set.
Well, nice 70 rupees there, but not as much as you want to see.
And it looks like Zeitnix is going to do bomb escape.
And Senen shows us a heart on Zora Ledge, and then he's gone.
Oh, it looks like the desert play. So he's gonna have to check Dan first because he skipped it. But
Yeah, that's okay. That's
he can go
right,
straight from there to Nagina's and desert.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's kind of wise given where we saw the book. And Zeitnix gets mirror. How about that?
Yeah, that is especially useful in Escape because now he can just kill that chain ball guard at the end and just mirror out.
Yeah, I think with a lot of these early plays like this, there's a high probability that your opponent does the same things, and it's a matter of do the items that show up help you more with other checks, right? So that mirror helps with many future checks. So Xenix gets like a little bit of a bonus from that. Oh, runs out of magic.
And he goes for the bomb instead of the bee. Where did they get those bottles? Did that come out
So
of the mini Moldorm cave?
Yeah, I'm blanking on the first one. I want to say Mini Moldorm. Yep.
Yeah, first the mini Moldorm.
Chat
Okay.
confirms.
So yeah, I mean, once he gets Dark World access, he can go do Sick Kid too. He can just mirror back and forth and do all that.
Well,
And it's looking like a desert is the answer. I'm just trying to figure out what could be there. I guess Lamp would give you access to Dark Cross, and if you have the key, the back of Escape. If it's Glove, you can get back of Escape. Then you'll also be able to sequence break.
Either that, or as Oro's pointing out, we just need to get some money and go visit our friend Zora.
I don't want that to be the case because I've had that happen to me without the glove before.
It's bad. Alright, so this will be interesting to see what we get out of Desert, for sure.
I missed what was on Hobo both times.
As did I, but I think I saw it the first time, but I don't believe it was critical. Shovel. Oh my gosh, that might be critical. We don't know.
Oh, that's right. Okay. No, we both saw that the first time.
We even talked about it, man.
I just didn't remember.
Late night commentator brain. It's not even that late. What am I saying? I'm an old man.
So, if you find the glove in Desert, do you go finish?
Well, without a fire source, no. It depends. We saw the desert ledge was just 20 rupees, so that's kind of out for the moment. Ideally, you end up here with all the things, but we shall see.
So I feel like that death warp was kind of interesting because it was clearly intentional, and I don't know if that's faster than just walking.
Oof, getting nothing from Desert. He's okay. Senen's gonna go check the torch just to be sure. But I imagine at this point, Shovel, Zora. Nice map. Ah, yes, and Zeitnix
yes,
going
Sick
to
Kid.
Sick Kid, indeed, yes. So, Shovel, Zora, Sick Kid. The trifecta of things that you don't want to do altogether.
Well, at least Shovel and Sick Kid are like semi-close to each other.
Yes. It's the only benefit. Come on, Sick Kid.
At least that's money for Zora.
Yeah. Sick Kid being very helpful here.
I mean, if he only has to farm 100 rupees, those crabs might actually be pretty useful.
Yeah, especially if they give you a nice movement pattern, that helps. All right, we got our shovel check. Let's see what we find.
The
A
glove.
Nice.
Thank goodness. Although that only opens up back escape right now.
True. But it does also make farming for money easier.
That is true. You can just do one lift. Or wait, no,
I think
two dips into the money cave.
it looks like Zeitnix taking advantage of this convenient rock crab. That's nice. But then I imagine heading over toward desert.
To find out the same thing that Senen already found out, is that it's empty. You're walking right past that money cave, though.
It's interesting to note the seed has not really given us many offensive weapons. We've gotten the ice rod and blue cane and bombs. That's about it.
Yeah, and the bombs are really actually the best weapon because the blue cane and the ice rod use magic and you can only use so much. The bombs, they can buy more or pick up drops from them. They've gotten quite a few out of chests, and so they've kind of been the main source of damage for them.
Yeah. And Senen is looking like he's on his way to get his glove. See if he heads toward back of escape, which I imagine he will. Or if he decides on it's time to get some money.
Looks like he's going up to Sick Kid.
Yep,
Get his 50.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely combo those together if you haven't done them both.
That only works for the golden bee, Senen.
Unfortunate. Sorry, Senen. Bottle Merchant, very picky about his bees.
And he's gonna go check the tree, or the ledge, I mean.
Yeah, it's interesting to do that at this point. I think some of it is too. He knows that this is money. I think. Bad placement for that 5. My personal thought is if you don't check this ledge early, you kind of wait until you see boots to check it. I personally like to check it early, but I go back and forth between that and waiting for boots. I feel like going to it at this point kind of removes any advantage you had of skipping it earlier.
It looks like they're both kind of betting on Zoro. Zeitnix picking up that 20 off the ledge.
Way. Yeah, I do think the nice thing about Senen's route here is he gets this money, he gets up to 500. He can go check back with Escape right now. We'll see some sync. Quasi-sync.
Oh, Senen getting a little more money. Probably doesn't want to be under here for pod.
Okay. Yes, that is true. Alright, back of Escape. What do you hide?
The hammer.
Nice hammer. That is some Dark World access right there.
So they don't have to go to Zora, thankfully. At least not yet. Not until they do Catfish. So Zeitnix is going to, I guess, Village of Outcasts first. Looks like Sin is doing the same thing.
Oh, okay. Senen's a little indecisive. He might be going up the mountain.
He does like his sequence breaks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something. Well, he of course might prove us wrong. Hey, okay. Yeah,
No, I
proving
think
us
he was
wrong
trying to get
again.
more money.
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking, you could go get to Tower of Hera, get that crystal, but the more you get out of logic, the more mixed up you get potentially. Yeah, I personally am a fan of going to Hype Cave first for a couple of reasons. It's a lot of early checks. Yes, it is not always as hype as it could be, but it does let you do a bunch of checks. When you have Mirror as a cool Papa Bells pointed out, you can do a lot of South Dark World checks. And it also just lets you do a map check early, lets you see what you've got coming your way, which I don't believe we saw Zeitnix do before heading into Skull Woods here.
Yeah, and it looks like Senen's going straight for
We have a red crystal pod, an IP, and a red pendant Swamp Palace.
So both of them are doing an early Skull Woods check. And this might be a flashback on Senen's side. In the group stages, he lost because there was a bow in Skull Woods that Zeitnix got.
Oh boy. Yeah, you do not want that. Nice first try for Zeitnix with that bomb jump without a sword. And Senen gets it on try number 2.
Senen doing a death warp to get a health himself.
Makes sense. He was pretty low after that failed bomb jump.
Yeah, the seed also not being very nice with health right now. Like, what's their only real weapon is a hammer and the bombs. And they have 5 hearts, 6 hearts, 5 hearts. I can't count.
Oh, we get a lamp in Skull Woods.
Well, that puts a lot of different things in logic now, because now you can go to Death Mountain.
Which is tempting. It's you can go into Thieves Town. You can full clear Thieves Town. It's a little nicer if you have a sword, but it's certainly doable with their loadout right now. Blue Cane makes it nice for the blind fight. Oh,
And now
nice.
Pod is fully clearable, and there goes my
Yeah.
bow mode.
Alright, I'm still in the run-in with my hook shot or red caned gamble.
I'm kind of surprised Zeitnix didn't go check the ledge, since they know where the cape is, and
That's
they have the
true.
flippers in the mirror.
That might make a difference if Sen decides to do it, but he's gonna mirror. He's gonna do something different. He might be doing a ped check. Yes.
He's probably
Yes,
doing a
he
pet
is.
check.
Alright, pedestal. Reveal your secrets.
And it's dead.
Yep. Early confirmation. Not even.
You can't live with just a piece of heart. Man, the hitbox on that hammer is really small. A sword would be very welcome by either runner right now. And Senen going to check that ledge.
We'll see if it pays up. Might make a big difference in what he decides to do. Or it's 10 arrows. Nope, don't think we're going to see that cape today.
Yeah, he's probably gonna follow Zeitnix and do Thieves Town at this point.
Don't know why this Stalfos hallway, without sword, without boots, just feels so bad.
It's the movement, man. Those things have such weird movement, and trying to hit them with a hammer or a projectile is just hard. Senen grabbing a potion before going in there, which is probably smart because hammer blind is pain.
True.
Although they do have the blue cane, which can still do damage to him.
By the way, I don't think we mentioned this, either of us, but there was a pretty nice flute in that bombable hut.
Yeah, I missed that the first time. I think we were paying attention to the ped.
Too focused.
So Village of Outcasts, with its 3 checks, was more stacked than Kakariko.
That's true. Now, if I were playing this, 100% I would forget to activate the flute. I certainly hope that these two remember to activate their flute.
I might forget to activate the flute. There's about a 75% chance on that.
Every time that I get it in Village of Outcasts, I say, cool, I'll finish Thieves Town, I will mirror, and I will activate this flute. And I don't. Never. Every time.
then you pull it out later and try to go somewhere, and you're like, wait a minute.
Zeitnix pulling out some swordless strats here. Oh, cutting it a little close. Not the shovel. And he gets it. His reward is a piece of heart.
Oh, it's another heart. It's another heart though.
That's true. That is helpful.
Which right now is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and even bigger deal. That is our first crystal of the race.
First blood goes to Zeitnix. Yeah, definitely wise to, you want to... Oh.
Okay. Yeah, good. See, I forgot.
So did I.
Every time.
He almost did too. Senen cutting it close with these grasshoppers.
Yeah, that transition between the two hallways is a little funky. If, in my experience and from what I've heard, if they're like on the transition, it kind of doesn't matter. You can just kind of walk through. I say that, but I've also had experiences where they definitely hit me really close to the transition, so I was like, all right, look, something's wrong.
So, I kind of fully expect, because he can full clear it, Zeitnix to go do all the checks between here and pod, and then just go into pod.
Yeah, I think that seemed... Wow, nice. One dig for the item.
The plays.
Oh my god.
The legend.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you. I think going to pod makes a ton of sense here. You know you can clear it. You've got everything very recently to do it. You want to make use of that nice, fresh new bow.
Yeah, too bad they don't have a sword though. If there's something on Bombo's tablet, they gotta come back to it. Free red potion?
Yeah, you take that.
Is that our fourth bottle? That's all the bottles.
And yet, Sick Kid was nothing really important. Senen also wisely pulling out that blue cane.
He also has a red potion.
Yeah, I really want to point out both these runners, very nice blind fights with the loadout they have. Depending on your familiarity with swordless modes and having to do blind with just a hammer, it can go south pretty quickly.
Yeah, swordless Helmosaurus also pretty rough.
True. Alright, we got Hype Cave, check. With some pieces of heart and some money. Senen also good, remembering the flute.
Zeitnix going for that cape. And with their current health, I don't blame him.
Yes, I think that is wise. Although, geez, that bomber's being a pest. Looks like Senen's likely going to follow the same route that Zeitnix followed here. Zeitnix, please be careful.
Now there's a fairy fountain up here on the other side of this tree line.
Yes. Oh.
I'm wondering if he goes in there. Yep.
I
Okay.
think you do. Oh.
I think you have to at that point. Like everything is just have to get you.
You're like, I'll get to pod. It'll be fine. Like that's when you know you're not going to do.
So here's a question, because you're in the area. Do you kill Armos Knights and then take the green pendant back to Sahasrahla after you do pod?
That's a good question. I think it depends a bit on what we find. They do have Tower of Hera available to them, so that's and the whole mountain except for Dark World Mountain. We have the ability to go into Swamp Palace. It's not super attractive because you don't have Hookshot yet. I don't know. It's tricky. I personally would wait on it, but I can see the logic behind doing it.
So, knowing their playstyles, I expect Senen to just walk away, but I expect Zeitnix to take the green pendant.
Zeitnix uses his last bomb to get through this doorway.
Yeah, there's a couple more up in these spots.
Senen is doing something a little different. He's going up to the mountain before he heads to pod.
That's a little surprising, actually. The game gave you everything for pod and its crystal. It's pretty hard to walk away from that. Although Hera also a crystal, and you can get in there and kill Moldor.
True. Yeah, I think it makes sense. You just got it's hard, you just got bow and you just got your flute. So either way, you're making use of an item. Someone in chat asking, this isn't swordless, right? It is not swordless. This is just an interesting placement of swords.
It'd be really funny though if there's 3 swords in GP. There has to be at least one to get in, because you need the swords to get into Meyer and TR. But they could be for a while.
Yeah,
you also need one.
Yeah, Senen makes an interesting move to so he mirrored outside of Link's house, went and got Old Man, returned Old Man to his home, went back to his portal outside of Link's house, and now he's continuing with Dark World. Still not going to pod though. He's going over to the pyramid.
I guess he could save and quit there if he wants to, but I don't know why he would, because he's got them.
Right, interesting to see if Senen goes to pod or goes to catfish. So you got 2 options. What do? You go to pod.
Well, yeah, like I said, you have everything to clear.
Sure, it seems
to walk away from. Maybe he was just following that lamp.
That could be. The lamp flute. Well, they've had access to the mountain and Old Man Cave for a while. Yeah, someone in chat pointed out maybe health refill. Maybe he was feeling a little bit unsteady on that. Sure. Also, and I think Blackwax, you were getting at this a little bit. Like, you can save and quit and go to Old Me. Right? It makes it a little bit faster saving and quitting. You're gonna do it at some point, no matter what. So it doesn't really matter when you do it. In my mind, it's just it's an interesting idea. Finally, a sword.
Yeah, that's quite a while, although that makes Helmsor a little bit easier. I think that was everything in here, though. Just the sword. Oh, and the mushroom.
Yes, I missed that as well, I think. Yeah, so Pod, a nice place to go this seed. You gotta be feeling a lot better once you get that sword. Especially going into Helmasaur, being able to kind of use your standard strats to be able to do the rooms here. It feels nice.
Zeitnix forgetting about that turtle.
Turtle being a bully. It's alright.
I mean, that's what they do. It's like their job.
It definitely also helps that we have blue mail here for Helma. I've been doing some practice for some all dungeons runs, and I know that Senen is someone who has done some all dungeons runs, and in that you have fairly low hearts, and come to Helmasaur very early in the run with just Fighter Sword, so he can really wreck you if you're not prepared for it. But Zeitnix just taking him out with the bow, doing a really solid job there. Gets paid 20 rupees.
And that's halfway to Pyramid Berry. Assuming we don't end up in Mit's go mode. There could definitely be something in Pyramid Fairy, because we already have flippers. Oh wait, we need a fire source, huh?
Yeah, we would need Fire Rod or Bombos for that other red, crystal, but yeah, it's coming along. Certainly possible.
Man, how rough would it feel to go 50 minutes without a sword?
Yeah. And especially in a tournament setting, you must be thinking like, man, did I miss something? Did I go wrong somewhere? I imagine from here, Zeitnix, he's going to do his check here on the pyramid, but I imagine he goes toward the potion shop, turn in that mushroom, and then goes to Catfish and Zora. Senen having a little bit of trouble lining up that arrow shot, but he gets it.
So, you think something big's gonna be on Zora? Something they're gonna be like, dang, I should have gone here earlier.
Watch it be Fire Rod.
Fire Rod and mids between the two.
Oh no.
Then you have to go into Ice Palace. You just be like, well, damn. I mean, you could put it off and go to Hera and Death Mountain and all that. But...
right. Zeitnix setting up one of my favorite mirror bonks in the game. This makes it nice and easy to get this item. Okay, looks like he tried to speak with the shop runner there, didn't get healed.
Yeah, so like a lot of people try to flute to get the whole mushroom thing to work, and then it doesn't work because it doesn't actually take you off the screen. But when you mirror, it loads in the entire dark world, and so it actually screen transitions, and that's actually what causes the item to appear.
Yeah, it's kind of the same principle as mirroring for the smiths, I think.
Yeah, it is.
In NMG at least. In Rando you can just walk out and walk back in, but in NMG you can mirror or screen transition. Just depends on your preference and what method you feel is a little faster there. Alright, Senen also going for some arrow strats. There's a nice lineup.
Man, Helma got right up to him. It was just like, here. It goes right here.
Alright, here comes the moment of truth with Zora.
Is it a scam? It's a big scam.
100% scam.
At least it wasn't 1 rupee.
Yeah, I think at this point you head up the mountain, you go do Tower of Hera. Senen skipping out on the mushroom and Catfish and Zora play, which, you know, if he never goes to do it, could be good in his favor.
It would definitely fall in his favor. I don't think one piece of heart's gonna decide the game, so.
True. At least you hope not.
Just some Uncle Bombs and Spectral Rock. Senen not checking the tablet.
Yeah, a little tricky there, yeah. Hopefully he does it after. I always do it before because my thought is I will, just like when I forget about activating the flute, I will forget to check the tablet. So, okay, we get big key and small key in the first 2 checks in Hera.
And Senen, without the boots and the hook shot, he can't do his Hera pot.
Yeah, pointing
So
out
you can
in
still
chat.
see what's on the tablet though without the
Yeah.
Master Sword. You just can't get it.
Exactly.
And if it's nothing, it's actually faster to check it without the Master Sword because you don't sit through the animation.
And I unfortunately missed what was on the tablet anyway. We saw
Hopefully
Zeitnix
Senen
do it.
doesn't forget.
Okay, 10 arrows. Thank you, chat. Twitch chat, always reliable.
Yeah, that's our tracker. He's
Hey,
doing
nice.
a pretty good job. He's actually doing better than us because he saw the flute and he saw what was on the tablet.
Without the tracker, we would not be doing as nearly as well as we
That
are.
is true.
Yeah, do want to shout out our crew here. In addition to Blackwax and myself, we've also got our tracker Akir. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry if I'm not. And Amareth as our restreamer tonight. So I want to thank them. Thanks, Akir. Good enough. Appreciate it. And of course, want to shout out both of these runners tonight. If you want to drop them a follow, they will certainly appreciate it. They're working hard out here. And also want to shout out the Go Mode podcast, who is supporting this stream. Without them, we would not have a channel. So we definitely appreciate that. Also, your go-to info for all your randomizer news. We did have a Trolldorm fall here, but Senen finishes. Zeitnix, oh, maybe about to fall. Yep, falls.
Yeah, and he goes down too.
Dead.
That's rough because like mid jump he changes pattern. It was just like I'm
Yes.
gonna smack you. And Senen remembering the tablet.
Oh, poor
Zeitnix with another fall.
That hurts.
But using that bumper to save some frames.
I like that. That's good. Use Moldorm, come on. That's 2. Oh. And that's 3.
And there goes Trolldorm.
Sweet.
Zeitnix pounding the hammer on the ground.
Yeah, I feel that frustration. And meanwhile, we've got Senen over on our left side, heading down into Spiral Cave, and he gets a heart. It's nice.
So after Death Mountain, I don't think there's anything in Logic, is there? Green Pendant.
Yeah, we've got Green Pendant.
Which
Did we get both items from Desert Palace?
that's the Fire Rod on the
Hey.
floating island.
Okay. Well, we gotta wait for Mitz for that. Maybe we find him over here in Paradox Cave. I'm glad Zeitnix checked that before going down. I don't know. I didn't catch if Senen checked it. I was busy watching the Trolldorm fight. But I definitely like checking it early.
I don't check it unless I have the mirror. And I know it's not like a big deal to get it. It's not like out of the way or anything. But it's the oh, and there's the Master Sword.
Nice.
It's the Dead Rocks.
Yep, I hear that. Alright, so not much in Paradox Cave here. So some things we can still do, right? We can go into Swamp Palace, and get everything except the hookshot locked area in the back. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if we got both items from Desert Palace before.
I don't think so, because they were both still looking when they cleared it out.
And both runners now know. Good memory there, Senen, going to Spike Cave. We have not seen Bombo's tablet yet, as someone in chat is pointing out. Both runners skipped that. I imagine a possible play is to check that as you go into Swamp. This is going to be really close for Senen. He's going to get it, but I would be really scared, personally.
All that for 20
paid.
rupees. It looks like Zeitnix is following suit.
Yeah, you don't want to abandon checks on the mountain once you're up here, because it's like you gotta climb all the way back up, deal with the rocks falling down. It's not fun. Yep, we see Senen headed toward Swamp Palace area.
Yeah, he's going straight in too.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. You know, you've got a ton more item potential in Swamp versus, you know, you go to Eastern, you get Green Pendant, turn it in, one item. And it's significantly slower to get that one item than to get all the Swamp Palace checks.
So we're an hour in and we don't have mitts yet. That sucks. Fire Rod is locked behind mitts. So is Pyramid Fairy. And
Sure.
we need several items for go mode still.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Zeitnix is going right now. I'm trying to think what he did not do over in this Dark World area before.
Is he checking Ped?
He might be doing that. He kind of took a long way around if he is, but it's certainly possible. Yep, into the Dark World.
Oh, he's gonna check the Bumper Ledge and Graveyard Ledge.
Ah, that is true. He did not do those. You know, I don't think we saw either runner do Graveyard Ledge. We had Mirror early for it, so...
Yeah, I kind of thought Senen might when he checked the, I was thinking when he checked the Bumper Ledge, he might just go check Graveyard Ledge and then jump over to, Catfish, but
yeah.
he didn't.
Yeah, this is one of those plays for Zeitnix where if it pays off, it's awesome. But if it doesn't, it's a lot of overworld movement when you might be in a dungeon doing a ton of checks all at once, like Senen is.
Yeah, but Senen's also in a pendant dungeon that he knows he doesn't need to finish.
That is the danger.
And he's only gonna be able to clear out half of it unless he finds a hookshot in here. And they're both kind of just left with things that you don't want to do.
Right, and at that point it becomes, you know, which of these not great choices is the actually correct choice?
Whichever one gets you boots.
Exactly.
Man, this seed is just not very nice. Nothing on Graveyard Ledge either, too. So,
Alright. So we'll see something in Swamp, or Bombo's Tablet, or Green Pendant, or the back of Desert.
You already did back of escape.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
if
where the
he did
hammer
attack.
was. It's probably just double
So
checking.
confused. Yeah, he's gonna see that opening bit.
Oh wait, I think he was gonna do Dark Cross, but
yeah. We saw
didn't.
all the items. We saw all the items in there already, and we didn't get a small key, so there's nothing. Small key's got to be in Dark Cross.
Yep.
Kind of an unfortunate moment there. I'm sure Zeitnix is like, well, oops.
Yeah, that was only about a 30-second loss, though. That's not really that
Right. Well,
big of a
looks
deal.
like Zeitnix going for the green pennant play.
Yeah. Personally, I would, just because I dislike left side swamp.
that is a fair thing to dislike. All right, we're getting our last check from Senen. I don't think we've seen the big key yet, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, it's just 10 arrows.
So
Oh
Zeitnix
boy,
is on his way in the right direction then. Unless it's on
One would
tablet.
hope so. Right. Yeah, that's the other risk here, is that Senen's gonna go to that tablet and get something big.
I mean, I forget about Bobble's tablet all the time. So
It's very easy to.
So I really hate this location over here.
Moment of truth.
Just 10 arrows. So there's either something
Nice.
on Armos or with
Yeah,
Sahasrara.
Yeah, and I think that Cool Papa Bell's pointing this out in chat, but Landmo I think does have an item. I'm really blanking on if we saw both items in Desert, but I don't think we did. So, this is like we've got two very different locations right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand the check to go into Desert because you're here. But you gotta think in the back of his head, he's like, maybe I should be doing the green pendant instead of this.
Yeah, this is a hard one. It's like you make a choice. You kind of have to commit to it at a certain point. You don't want to doubt yourself halfway. Like if you're halfway to Desert and you're like, no, I'm not going to do it, and you turn out to have been right in the first place, then you just really shot yourself in the foot by leaving. Zeitnix missing the quick kill there, but pulls it off. So we'll see what this green pendant gives us.
We might see both items at the same time. Well, no, he still has to kill ammo.
We'll get this information very close together, but we'll get this green pendant info first.
Boots! Vanilla boots!
Holy cow! All
And
right.
that's a big one, because that opens up,
What a world.
that gives you bonk rocks, right? But then he has to use his mirror to get to King's Tomb.
Yes, so you have both of those checks. It looks like Zeitnix is going to go to Swamp Palace first and be a little bit upset about it, but that is okay. I've got Landmo over on Senen's side. Those boots, though, are very nice because, as chat's pointing out, it's vanilla green pendant for vanilla boots. They're really nice just because it makes it so much easier to move around the world, and especially in a place like Swamp Palace. Walking on the water in there just takes so long and feels so bad.
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't go kill. I'm surprised he didn't take the green pendant earlier when he was clearing pod.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. You have a lot of other places you can go. Unfortunate for Senen, just a single arrow there. And if Zeitnix never goes to Desert Palace, then this evens out a little bit. As I imagine Senen will next go off to Eastern. Zeitnix with I think a very slight advantage right now, getting those boots at this point to do checks that Senen already has. That'll make it a little bit faster for him.
No, the reason it surprises me is because I know their playstyles, and it's Zeitnix likes to get the green pendant just in case, and then also if there's a ped, something on the ped, it's not that big of a deal to go clear 2 more dungeons.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I imagine in his brain he was like, well, I usually do this, but maybe try something different. Because especially when you have so many options at that point, you know, it's tricky. You're always just making the best decision you can.
Yeah, that's true, and especially with running against somebody who you have history with, like they were each other's first real competitive match, and so this is big to both of them. They both want this win pretty bad.
Yeah, no big key yet, Zeitnix. It's a little confused there for a sec. Yeah, it is an interesting play from Zeitnix to go. He gets the boots and goes to Swamp Palace, which is not necessarily going to, like, the boots will help you move through it, but the boots don't lock anything there. If you get an item this late, it's like I only have so many checks now. I feel like you want to use that item right away.
Yeah, I agree. It just like following the items, but I kind of think the thought process is that if he does these 2 checks, he's not coming back here for a while. It's a pendant dungeon.
It's true.
There's nothing on
Yeah.
ped. I don't think he's checked ped yet, actually, but in his mind, you have to think there's likely not anything on ped.
Right.
So it's you know, I'll get these 2 checks out of here, and then I don't come back.
Right, and in a way, I'm contradicting myself because I was saying earlier, like, you know, you want to go to a place that has more checks. It's like, well, you have boots, you get 2 checks versus more checks in Swamp Palace. But you know, it's always hard. There's so much that goes on in your thinking about a rando seed.
Well, I mean, you could point out that the boost checks are faster than doing this. Like those 2 checks, if you go hit the portal, you could just run over to them and mirror.
That's true.
Right, it's less checks, but it's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to weigh what you think is going to be more value.
And speaking of boots checks, I imagine Zeitnix goes and does those right now. While we've got Senen checking out Catfish, probably going to Zora after that.
To get scanned.
Zeitnix, of course, going to Bombo's tablet, which, well, once again, we forgot about.
Yep.
Twice in the same race. What a world.
And it looks like he's going desert.
Okay.
Did he forget about the?
I don't think he did. I think he's trying to just. Okay. Maybe he was changing his mind. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. I think he might just be thinking, yeah, I'm right next to it. I might as well do it. Sometimes it's as simple as that, and you know, at least in my mind, it's like, well, I'm already here.
I mean, it's the so from where we're sitting, we know that the progression is in the boots checks. It's got to be either hookshot or mitts because we know where the fire rod is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, still no mitts at this point. Oro, yeah, we're just not seeing anything here. So this is interesting here. Just Zeitnix is doing the same checks that Senen has done, and with equivalent item setups, that kind of balances things out. But Zeitnix has the boots, which makes it a little bit faster for him on each screen if he's using them correctly and avoiding bonks and things like that. So you might just see like a little bit of Zeitnix pulling ahead with those boots. Senen's going to get them fairly soon though, so that will even out eventually.
That is true. Chat pointing out if you have the flute, you're always right next to Desert Palace.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, Zeitnix using some Ice Rod strats on Landmo here. Switching to the bow because he's out of magic.
Yeah, the timing on the Ice Rod is way different than the Fire Rod. It's really easy to screw that up.
Pretty funky. Okay, all right, I want to see our boots checks here. Let's do it.
I think he's out. I think that's all that's left is the boots checks. And he's saving and quitting, probably to go to the chapel to check Bonk Rocks.
All right, let's see what happens. Nice.
It's in King's
era. Yep.
Mitts in King's Tomb. Are you kidding me?
It's either mitts or it's going to be something jank like hook shot, which leads to something in the back of Swamp Palace.
Oh no, that would be the worst.
This is, yeah, chat point out, I believe a legitimate last location here.
It is legit a last location, 100%. Like I think literally there are no other checks for him to make right now. And Senen probably happy to see those boots.
Yes.
And he only has 2 checks.
Yeah, he's both happy to see them and also maybe thinking, oh, I might be in trouble. Because that was his last check.
Yeah, he last location the boots. Zeitnix didn't.
Yeah, so now we can definitely confirm that Zeitnix is very, very slightly ahead here.
We can actually check the timer from when he picks up the item in there to when Senen picks up the item and figure out what kind of gap there is.
Nice. Love me some late night timer math.
119.12? That was a bad place for the Mitts.
13.
Like 100%. That is maybe the 3rd worst place for the Mitts. Zeitnix deciding to go to Death Mountain.
I think this makes sense. You go get your fire rod. You go go to Skull Woods, do Ice Palace, then you see where you are.
You also see if you can get into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Ped, there's nothing on Ped. Senen checked it.
I think that's in response to what are the two even worse places to find mitts.
Yeah, Ped's definitely one of them in Vanilla Mitts in Thieves Town.
Yeah, for some reason vanilla items feel bad, like especially in later dungeons. Ooh, bombos for.
So 120.38.
Yeah, so that's a solid like minute 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to make use of that. I imagine both runners are feeling like I am so behind.
Senen doing what I would actually do and going check
Yeah,
my area first. This is 3 really quick checks.
Wow, we don't have either medallion that we need. We need Bombos
Dang.
for TR and Ether for Misery Mire. That Quake is useless.
I wonder if Zeitnix is going to try to hover. Because he can.
He skips it. Yeah, I've seen him try before. Sometimes he's fairly consistent. He can do it, but sometimes it's hard. You know, it's a weird skill.
Yeah, by doing this first though, he gets a couple more tries. Those hearts.
Senen seemed a little.
No, he's just floating out of here.
Yep, I think that's fair. You know, you like you were saying before we started, you know, he tends to stay in logic, and hovering might be one of the things he's able to do. But you know, also likes to just be confident that his move is the right move.
So speaking of the hovering, Zeitnix will climb the tower without the hook shot. Go for that Moldorm 2 hover. That being said, Senen will too, except he does the bomb bounce, and he's ridiculously consistent at it. So we might not see a hook shot.
Yeah, this could go down in an interesting way.
And Zeitnix going for Ice Palace, which
Yeah, I think
I expect Senen to do the same thing.
It makes sense because you want to get the other red crystal. You know, you're still having gotten the mitts, you do have more options. You have blacksmith and all of that. You can do plenty more places, but at the same time, like, hey, it's a red crystal that opens up even more places. Why not do that?
Zeitnix forgetting that Quake kills the Pen Gators.
Yeah, he's getting bullied a little bit here.
Although the hammer does quite a bit of damage too.
Yeah, hammer's pretty nice. It's true.
If it wasn't for that freaking hitbox.
bit of an oops map open on Zeitnix side. Alright, so Senen is hot on Zeitnix's heels here. There's a question in chat about if there are items left in Swamp Palace, and I do not know. I know we got the lamp in there.
Yeah. Well, there's four chests in the back. There's the 3 chests in Argus, so there has to be a minimum of 2 items left.
Oh, sorry, I misspoke. I misread as well. Items left in Skull Woods. I know we got the lamp in
Skull Woods?
I don't know if we got another item other than the lamp.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I know we got the lamp. I don't think we got the other items out, but like the likelihood of there being something in Skull Woods right now is pretty low. And if there is, the likelihood of it actually being something we need is pretty low too.
Well, we've seen a heart in Ice Palace so far, and that's about it. Gotten the big key, so we can check that, but nothing yet.
A shield.
Nice. First shield of the game. My goodness.
An hour 27 in.
So if I'm right, I think I am, we've only seen 2 items so far in Ice Palace. So we will see, sorry, we've only seen 1 item in Ice Palace, so we will see an item in the big chest and on Cold Stair. Yep, I was incorrect.
No, there's been 2 items apparently.
All right. I'm very much paying attention, I promise.
It's fine. We got 2 screens.
Well, that was a very lucky big magic drop for Zeitnix.
Yeah. Well, no, he's got a green potion.
Oh, you're right. Fortunate.
He might have 2. I don't know if he used.
Fairly lucky to get it. You know, nice to get that rather than having to use your potion.
That was a very cool trick that I've never seen before. After he melted the shell, he walked up to the wall and waited for the icicle to fall, and then backed up so that it didn't.
Yeah, it's a nice thing about that wall up there is it'll do that. That's good timing. You know, it has to be like lined up kind of perfectly for you, but it's a cool thing when you can make it happen.
And a no damage cold stare
Very
fight.
nice.
That is
Just gets a heart.
yeah, but he also gets that red
Yeah,
crystal.
that's gonna be the big thing. So yeah, might see we go do the Pyramid Fairy, and then possibly off to Skull Woods to finish that up. Yeah, very solid fight from Zeitnix, for sure.
Alright, so I guess he's going to Skull Woods then. Makes
Yeah.
sense, it's a crystal.
You might as well do it. Yeah, and especially if there's an item left, you go check that before you go turn in or go deal with the big bomb.
I mean, not only that, it gives you a little bit of time to think about where you want to go.
True. We also have fairly limited options still. We can do Smith's Chain. We can turn in the red crystals for that big bomb. Trying to think what else we can do. You can hover in Hookshot Cave if you want.
Yeah, Zeitnix can.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, they've cleared out so much of this game already. It's kind of crazy. Zeitnix having trouble getting that torch.
Yeah, getting bullied a little bit. He got a little bit too close. He had a really nice method in there, but it's got a little bit too close to the torch. And we'll see our Moth fight. Pretty comfortable with the number of hearts you have. Master Sword and Blue Mail. That feels pretty good. Yeah, so there's a question in chat from Westside Vandal. We need a couple of items still. We need both medallions that we're missing. We need Bombos and Ether. We need Red Cane, and ideally we see Hookshot. But either runners could hover / Moldorm bounce.
Yeah, Zeitnix can do the hover, and Senen has practiced the bounce a lot. It's crazy how good he is at it.
Yeah, he's quite reliable.
So yeah, we might not see Hookshot.
Yeah, I see Zeitnix going for his ped check, which he has not done yet. Okay, yeah, I got where it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, ped
He's
was
meaning.
just a piece of love, nothing major. All right, and what do we have in Pyramid Fairy? Piece of heart, green rupee. Oh, interesting.
So nothing.
I'm
kind of lost as to what's left.
Smith's Chain is the only thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. And they're both going for it right now.
Yeah. This is Last Location Simulator.
Oh, I've never heard that one before. That's a good one. Looks like Senen's gonna go kill Moth first before he does this. There's Ether. That is something.
I would finish this chain before committing to that. Because Lord knows you are already here. You don't want to take a risk at this point. You're an hour 35 in. Red cane on blacksmiths.
That's two things. Oh, now we are in Bombos Go mode.
Watch it be on purple chest.
That would kind of be ridiculous. It might be. Just it like be, Smith's Chain just has all the answers. Here's the thing, you do Smith's Chain early, and
think about how much was locked by Mitts here. We had Fire Rod locked by Mitts, we had Ether, and we had Red Cane.
Yeah.
And a piece of heart, by the way.
And the Mitts was locked by a very, very early accessible green pendant.
Yeah. Vanilla boots, by the way.
Fire Rod was locked by the Mitts.
Yeah, so we, hopefully we see Bombos in Mire. Other possibility, we see Hookshot and no Bombos, and then we either go to Swamp Palace or Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, at this point I don't see him going to Pyramid Berry. I think his thought was, I'm gonna go do a Smith Chain, and then after I do the chest, I'm gonna go do Pyramid Berry, but he had 2 items to clear out as Mire, and so he just kind of put it off.
Right, that's what.
Which is fine, because there's nothing there now.
Exactly, you're like, well, it's an hour 35 in. I'm gonna use these things for sure.
So Mire is not really yielding anything yet. Just a map. So I think I should give another shout out to our tracker, who has been doing very good, and our restreamer, Amrith. Because we wouldn't have this going on right now without them. And shout out to the Go Mode podcast, because we wouldn't have a channel to do this on otherwise. And a lot of us probably wouldn't even know each other if it wasn't for them either. So shout out to them. And that's Bombos. That is basically Go Mode, because I don't think either one of them is going to stop and look for the hook shot. Alright, so Zeitnix has to be Misery Mire and then Turtle Rock. And once that crystal drops, we can start putting guesses in for the big key guessing game. So, Zeitnix doing NMG spins with the cape. I don't think he realizes that you can stand there and slash, and while the sword is swinging, your magic meter doesn't drain.
Oh
No!
Zeitnix, that hurts. Oh, you definitely don't want to have that happen this late into the race.
He still has a little bit of a lead, but that really evens things out.
Yeah, this is at this point it's really going to come down to how well we play the last little bit of this game. So things like that just feels bad.
Well, I mean, especially last locationing those myths and not going to do Armos when normally he probably would have. You gotta think, like, in the back of his mind, he's like, I cleared out an extra dungeon, I last location the myths, I just died to Vitreous. He might be just waiting for the dot done. Which isn't coming anytime soon.
Yeah, like you said, he definitely still has a slight lead here. He needs to be very careful. Low health and no powder, no safeties with bottles. It's risky. You gotta play it safe.
And no spooky this time.
Right. Interestingly, Senen going to the back of Meyer and skipping right side and not getting Bombos.
That's not good. He must have miscounted items or something.
It might also just be a choice that you make. You know, you're like, well, if it is on the boss, it is faster for me to just go for the boss and take a risk. But it's also a risk.
That's true, and the amount of times that the item is actually on Vitreous is actually super annoying.
Nice. Zeitnix finishing off Vidi there. sometimes when I play this game and I fight Fiddy, I think, how in the world did I ever beat this boss as a kid?
Yeah, I think the same thing. Because, like, this is just not an easy boss.
There's so much happening. Senen definitely playing it safe here. He wants to be. He definitely wants to play careful. All right. Saved enough arrows wisely.
And that key has got to feel bad.
Yeah. We'll hopefully for okay. Best case, he goes back in. You know, I don't know that he really has any other choice.
I'm not sure he does. Like, he might be last location.
To be honest, yeah.
This.
Oh.
Thinking about his life choices.
Long pause. Zeitnix wisely just resetting the room. Senen goes back in. That's good. I think even if he thinks, but I got all the items in there. You know, there's no other option. It's here. Alright, we'll see Zeitnix head into Turtle Rock, perhaps find the hook shot.
Oh no, he has to go hit the switch to get this last chest.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's just bleeding time.
That frustration circle. Oh, buddy. That's an easy thing to forget if you come back in.
How much you want to bet he never does that again?
No. Oh, sorry. I was confused by Zeitnix there. What are you doing, Zeitnix?
You have everything. What? Oh, he's getting potions probably. No?
Okay. What? I'm confused.
What?
Zeitnix, why? What are you doing? You have Cane, you have Fire Rod, just go. What? Possible that he missed an item in here? I don't know.
Does he want the hook shot, I guess?
I mean, yeah.
It's not in there, but...
You don't need it for Turtle Rock, dude.
I don't understand.
I will have questions.
I think he skipped the cutscene test. But now that just absolutely gives a lead to Senen.
Yeah. This is one of those things where you made a choice, or even if it's a mistake. What is happening? I'm very confused. Oh, okay. I think I see. So he did not get big chest. What else did he not get? Like, what are you doing?
Cutscene chest.
Alright, great. Man, this poor dude is gonna be very upset.
He must really think the hookshot's in here.
Yeah, and this is...
But I'm pretty sure it's either has to be in Turtle Rock or it's in Gan's Tower.
It was one of those things where it's like, I made a mistake or I made a choice. I I don't want to back out on that choice.
I mean, he didn't hover the hookshot cave, so he might kind of feel like that he's not up to it today.
That could be. Yeah, I feel that like I can hover, but not all the time. Oof, that feels bad getting those 20 rupees.
I mean, he went all the way up there too, and then turned around.
Yeah.
Mirror, you got a mirror.
There is no other way. Could die on the overworld to preserve your mirror spot, but really there's no point because of where his mirror spot is. What is happening?
I don't know. Oh, Pyramid Fairy.
Oh no.
But it's not there. It's either in PR or GT.
He must think that he needs it at this point. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, if it turns out to be, if the big key's in a hookshot block location in GT, and Senen skips it in TR, then it could pan out for him a little bit. But I mean, he's just bleeding time right now, and I don't.
Yeah, and I feel like it's extremely unlikely for Senen to skip any location in Turtle Rock, missing the hook shot at this point.
Yeah, now that realization's setting in, he just wasted like 3 minutes.
Yeah, Senen is deciding to skip the vanilla big key chest in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see why he shouldn't. He can do the bomb bounce. He can do all the bomb jumps.
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable doing that tech, fuck, great. Oh, Zeitnix, come on, buddy. Just go back to Turtle Rock. A couple of folks in chat asking, like, does he think maybe he needs Hookshot to do Turtle Rock? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. He was in Turtle Rock. He can do the things in there. He just must think that he needs it somehow.
I guess, but I mean,
it's the only explanation I can possibly think of here, or he's just worried about not having it for the end, but is considering where else it could be.
Like, I don't see how somebody who's been playing as long as he has could think that.
Yeah, I'm fairly confused. All right, looks like he's going back. That's good.
Maybe he was just double checking to make sure he didn't leave any locations unchecked.
Right. I think that must. It's either that. Yeah, I think that is more likely an explanation. But either way, it hurts.
Oh no, is he going into the Hera basement?
He doesn't have any other way to get up, so he has to go this way.
Oh, okay, no, you're right.
Yeah, I had that same moment a minute ago when Senen was climbing the mountain. I was like, "Why are you going this way?" I'm like, oh, you don't have a choice. Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
Stop!
Zeitnix, why? Please
Oh,
don't.
he left. He left.
Oh, thank God.
No!
No! Oh no! Oh God! Please don't avoid the.
This is just like this went from a good race to painful all of a sudden. I mean, like
Right, he's got to be thinking through stuff right now. Like, what am I doing? What do I do?
I don't. Senen taking a death to Trinex.
Oof, that hurts.
Oh, he's a fairy.
Okay, that's good. It doesn't hurt as much.
My question is, why did he drop a bomb? Oh, is he out of magic?
Oh yeah, he is. He's leaving. Oh, he's got the long
Oh, and he never went
walk, man.
outdoors.
He at least gets the full magic pickup here, but that's a long walk.
Oh, there he goes.
Please.
There he goes. He's going
Zeitnix,
into a rock.
please.
Well, this will make it at least close. This could turn into like just GT right. What are you doing?
Please. Oh, no.
Go into Turtle Rock.
Oh no.
Where are you going now? I don't. Does he forget that he has the mitts? No, because he was in dark.
I'm very confused.
This is hard to watch, man.
I'm hurting, man. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Oh, there's the
Oh
hook
my
shot.
God. No. Zeitnix, come on, dude. Okay, so for those of you just joining us, Zeitnix is refusing to go back into Turtle Rock. We don't know why. But Hookshot is in Turtle Rock. We think that he might be avoiding it because he wants to get Hookshot. I don't know.
Yeah, this went from a pretty good race to just painful to watch. He's in go mode basically, and the only locations he has left are in Turtle Rock. He literally can't get to anything else.
I have so many questions.
And he sat there on his screen with his menu down for like a full minute. So he should know he has everything to do it.
What gets me is he was already inside the dungeon. He was there.
I don't.
He was in the lead, and he checked it, and I just don't understand. I think some folks in chat are pointing this out. Like, it's entirely possible that, you know, we get in the habit of using hookshot for the torch room in TR, right? And so we get so used to it, we kind of forget that you can do it without the hookshot. Like, hookshot is not the intended way to do that room. Right, we got a little bit of a tense fight on Senen's side. Oh no! I was about to say,
he died again.
Out of magic, he had one shot for Fire Rod left, and he didn't get it. It's got to be frustrating.
And now he can't get across there. Oh, he can bomb jump?
Yeah, yeah. I've never done it, but I suppose you could.
I don't think he has either, because he just backed out of it.
Yeah, you could. What you could do there is bonk over the... okay, that's a scary way to go in this place.
And he died again.
So if you go to the left side of that big chest entry, you can bonk over the... I need to check if this is actually allowed or not in racing rules. But you can bonk over the railing and get to where Senen is now. Because that railing leads essentially back to this location with the two bouncing jerks who murder you.
That one was a death worm. All he needs is a green potion.
Yeah, he has enough money, he has enough magic where he could place a Samaria block now. Yep, there it is.
I mean, that's entirely possible. This has been a rough seed.
Sorry. Oh my god. Wes is pointing out, Senen has hookshot. He does not need to use Samaria block.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. This is such a struggle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. These poor guys, I think they're just losing it. He did need a spot of magic for the dark room here. We just need one little pot for it. That's it. Oh my gosh, these guys just must be feeling the it's a tournament. I don't want to mess things up kind of feeling.
And they're messing things up pretty hard. Both of them right now are like super hard.
I can understand the... Okay, it looks like Senen's going for the safety door here. That's wise. And I think folks in chat are right. Like, it's when we're watching it, it's really easy for us to be like, "Yo, come on!" But also, this is hard. They're kind of in a tournament position. It's tough. So they definitely are trying their best here, but just struggling a lot.
Oh no, he's going back into Ice Palace. I don't understand what he's doing. Like, I understand Zeitnix or Senen right now.
Yeah, this makes sense. This is wise.
I don't understand what Zeitnix is doing. It doesn't make sense. Like, and I mean, there's also like a lot of pressure on both of them because the history they have.
Yeah, you've got the rivalry. I imagine that they're both like, oh my god, it's like feeling so behind.
Yeah, I hope he just realized it. Oh, there he goes. He's going in.
Thank goodness. Zeitnix, stop.
Okay, he's definitely losing his mind because
Yeah, poor dude. Oh man, what a position to be in, to go from in the lead to essentially a full dungeon behind. He goes the correct way for the
I
fire
mean,
rod. That's good.
I've got questions.
I do want to point out we've been focusing on Zeitnix here because he's been having his unfortunate moment, but Senen did just have a really nice hammer Trinex fight. He struggled a bit with it the first couple of times, but he pulled it off, and he's doing solid. Also, big key guessing game. Go.
What do you guess?
Someone already took 3. No.
Yeah, a bunch of us tried to type 9 at the same time, so I had to change mine to 22. Because somebody beat me to it.
2. I'm going 2.
So, if you're Senen, do you feel behind enough to go for tile room?
You apparently feel behind enough to go over to right side at least.
Nope, he skipped it. Chad pointing out, Senen only has 2 arrows. And that could be disastrous.
Yeah, a little scary. A little scary.
This is not over. The amount of mistakes that are going on right now is unprecedented.
Well, nothing right side. Still got tower. We'll get that.
Well, there's a sword, so that makes the Ganon fight easier. Because they're both gonna get that. Maybe that's what he was freaking out about. He doesn't want to do Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, it's really that's one potential. Oh man, I have many questions how he felt about that moment.
Yeah.
He kept moving though. he didn't pause. That's good.
He very much has a never give up mentality, him and Senen both. And there's the big key. I think it was 12.
Yes. Yes. Man, I got kicked off the leaderboard, dude.
I haven't gotten a single big key guess right this entire tournament.
That was the first ever winner of the big key guessing game on this channel. Oh my gosh, Senen. Okay. Senen's going for the clip here because he doesn't have enough arrows.
He does like his glitches. If he takes too long on this, Zeitnix could catch up. I almost feel like it would be faster to
Well, there's one.
Go outside with the shovel.
Yeah. Well, he got one off and he only needs these 2 arrows because the next room has 5. As long as you move straight to the bottom.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't mess things up. I have seen the. I have seen those arrows disappear if there are too many sprites on the screen. Oh, he misses a shot. All right, gets that one. Gets that one. That one, and nails it. All right.
Barely makes it. I want to say, barring a disaster, that Senen's going to like pull this one out, but we've seen some stuff go down in the last 10 minutes.
Zeitnix finishes off Trinex, get that final crystal, and move on to Ganon's tower. He needs to do something big here to catch up if it's going to happen.
I think both of them just want this race to be over at this point.
I do not blame them.
Like, I mean, that Turtle Rock for Senen was so harsh, and Zeitnix with that massive brain fart. Yeah, this is getting to both of them. He just walked right off the edge.
Yeah, chat pointing out Zeitnix going to save a little bit of time going left side first versus going right like Senen did. But we shall see if it makes a difference. Senen is very close to finishing up here.
I mean, it might. If he has a bad Ganon fight, then it could really swing things back in Zeitnix's favor. But you hate to win that way,
Right.
so, especially when you absolutely make such a big mistake. It would take a couple falls at this point, but yeah, I could definitely change things. You got if you're Zeitnix right now, you gotta wonder what went wrong on Senen's end for that dot done to not be there yet.
Right. Yeah. The amount of time. I think someone in chat pointed out it was a solid like 18 minutes. Someone timed it. It's a long time. So you gotta feel like maybe I still have a chance somehow.
Well, yeah, he went into Turtle Rock right as Senen was finishing it up.
Alright, and Senen killing the wizard on his way to the Ganon fight. Senen on to phase 2 of Ganon, while Zeitnix is fighting land mode 2.
Oh no, he's gonna die.
Holy cow, okay. Please be
careful. Oh, he's got a fairy.
Fairy.
Okay, he has a fairy.
So he will be okay. As long as he
Why does he have his fairy out?
Right. I think
he just asked the same question.
Yep, there it is. Fortunately, going to use that fairy.
All those teleports.
Hey, Ganon's got to make it interesting, you know? I did not read quickly enough to see where the silvers were. But I imagine his tower or Swamp Boss.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Silver's in Ganon's tower, chat confirms. Our tracker confirms, in fact.
And Senen doing pretty well on these silverless spins.
Playing it safe. He's gonna get a I was gonna say he might get a triple on this one, but he takes some fire damage on that second attempt.
This is a heavily practiced fight, and especially for these two.
Yeah, they have plenty of practice.
I doubt either one of them screws it up, at least not terribly.
And Senen has killed Ganon. will soon raise his sword in triumph. So let's get some GGs in chat for Senen.
I mean, I wonder the surprise for the Zeitnix, how close this race ended up being.
My goodness, what a seed. This was definitely a tricky seed in general, but the ending was certainly tough for both of them. Like by the time they got close to 2 hours, there's so much happened. So GG to both. I have been informed we're going to hold off on interviews for the moment because this is so close. We're going to pull in both racers once we see a finish from Zeitnix.
Yeah. If anybody in chat has questions, you might want to just put them in now, and we can ask them when they both get in.
We have a few. We have a few, but
yeah, I have a few.
We're open to more, of course. I'm certainly curious about how they thought about the opening of the seed, not seeing a sword for so long, and especially curious about the end and how they both experienced that. A question in chat is when is game 2? This is a very important question.
I think they're trying to work out a time for tomorrow for game. Yeah, with the exception of how this ended, I mean, this was a close race anyways, even if all those mistakes don't happen, because they both kind of just bit the hole.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so Zeitnix not quite getting that first silverless spin, but going for the rest. Gonna get 2 on this. It's 1-2.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like as hard of the time that we had while the TR thing was going on. This Ganon fight for both of them seems to be going a lot better.
I believe Zeitnix is at 7 hits right now. I think this is number 8. Yeah, he's a little early on those attempts for a triple. He's getting close. That one's hard to pull off. Very precise timing. Okay, being safe, switching over to the lamp. And
there we
has done it. Let's get some GGs in our chat for Zeitnix. He has certainly earned it. Nice. And I do have our...
And we are...
You go ahead, Black Max, you got it.
We are joined by both runners.
Hi.
GG's.
GG's.
I hope you liked the show.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something. That was. I hope we put on a good show for everybody.
So I've got a question.
A new one?
For Zeitnix.
What's up?
What happened there when you were about to go into?
Oh yeah, so I went into TR and then I got that compass and I thought I should mirror out and go check every other location in the world just so Senen feels comfortable in games 2 and 3.
Perfect. Oh my god.
No, but in reality, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I mirrored out thinking I needed hookshot to finish TR for some reason, and that was just an epic brain fart. I don't have any idea what I was thinking.
I mean, we're so used to using hookshot in the right room, in the torch room.
I mean,
It happens to just blank and think it's hookshot lock, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Oh, I
that's
feel
kind of
terrible.
what I was thinking about as we were watching you explore Hyrule again. Was like, you know, he has to think he needs hookshot here. There's no other reason, and it comes from the habits we build, kind of using the hookshot in there, and it was unfortunate for sure. And yet, this was still an extremely close race. You're only about just about 4 minutes apart, which is very, very close for how things went. So, congrats to both of you for dealing with this heck of a seed.
Yeah.
I have a question about the beginning ish of the seed. You didn't get a sword for a very long time. How were you feeling about that?
Uh, what was your first sword, Senen? I guess it had to be Pod, right?
Yeah. It was bad. I can't
that's
remember.
true.
What was the second? Oh yeah, the second one was. I could have. Yeah, the second one was on the mountain. I hesitated between going to the mountain or pod first, so I could have had either one first.
That's
But
right.
yeah, I don't mind too much. I would have been a bit afraid of blind because I'm not used to hammer only low health, etc. But we had Biana, so I knew it was okay. Okay.
Yeah, you both use a similar strategy there of hammer until you were at about 2 hearts, and then get out that cane of Burna. It worked out in your favor for sure.
Yeah.
I'll echo Senen. I mean, same thing. I felt pretty comfortable swordless, honestly, and I knew because of that Burna that it was going to be fine in Thieves Town.
Even though I bought a red potion before Sifton because when I'm low health, I have I like the safety. I shouldn't have done that because for one we had Berna and also we were pretty low on money for the world seed, and I hadn't checked King's Aura yet. I hadn't opened Pod yet, so I was low on money and I shouldn't have bought this potion.
What did you guys think about the vanilla green pendant the Batu effect?
Yeah, I mean those last location boots. Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I always like getting boots, and vanilla boots just makes it feel special.
Yeah, so I actually have a question related to that. So, Senen, you last location those boots, so you didn't really have any other
Yeah.
choice except for going for King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks. But
Yeah.
Zeitnix, so you got those boots before, I think, before you had done Swamp Palace and Desert Palace, and you did not go for King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks for quite a while after that.
Right.
So someone in chat was curious about like why did you go for Swamp Palace instead of using those boots for King's Tombs and Bonk Rocks?
You know, to be honest, I should have. I don't know what I had swamp and desert in my head, and I just went for them right away. I didn't stop to think, and I should have went to Bonk Rocks first.
Kingston is always hard to load. It's a slow sec.
Plus, yeah, we didn't have the mitts yet, because obviously.
Because they were right.
And that just makes it a little slower too. I wonder if, yeah, that might have influenced it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Some other questions from chat. Unless Blackwax, do you have any other major questions on your mind?
No, that's all.
All right, so we had some questions about Game 2 primarily. Zeitnix, so if you don't have to reveal your hand too early if you're still thinking about it. But what are you thinking about a mode change for Game 2, and do we know when Game 2 is?
Well, we've kind of decided Game 2 is going to be tomorrow, probably at 4 p.m. Eastern, but that could get pushed back a little bit depending on what happens during the day. So somewhere around there, though. And for the change I'm going to make, I'm going to still think about that and get back to Senen later. I'm thinking I'll probably do a shared sword, but I'm going to think about it.
I mean, we had such a good time without sword. Well,
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, maybe we should have a little help this time.
Yeah, well, I do want to congratulate you both. It was a tough seed, and you played solidly and put on a good show for us, and definitely had really great moments throughout the race. So thank you both for playing and being here.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Thanks.
Also, the quarterfinal 4 back together here.
Yeah.
I can't. This seed took. Not only did we both make some major faux pas moves, we had a difficult seed or a wide, items everywhere. This is the first time in a long time that I've had a 220. We were talking about this beforehand.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a 220.
It felt so long.
Yeah, I think I had a 220 in the qualifiers because I played very poorly in the start of the qualifiers. But aside from that, yeah, 220 it shouldn't happen at this stage of the brackets. But
But hopefully, good show. Good show. Thanks everybody.
yeah, I'm happy we finished this close.
Yeah. Well, thank you both. As our restreamer Amareth is pointing out in chat, you can please give our runners a follow. We've got Senen and Zeitnix, their Twitch channels linked. And also, please, just a quick shout out for Akir, who's been our tracker and paid way more attention to where items were than I did or Blackwax did. And also to Amareth for restreaming us tonight, and Go Mode Podcast for providing the channel. Also want to shout out the Go Mode Podcast in general. Please do listen to the Go Mode Podcast. You can join the Discord. Amareth has a link to that as well. And I don't know if I have anything else to say. Blackwax, do you have any final words here?
No, that's all. I guess.
And Racers, any final words from the two of you?
Well, Go Mode Podcast rules. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
Straight facts, man. There you go. All right, and with that, I suppose that we will be signing off. Thank you all for watching and spending time with us here. It's been a blast. It was quite a seed. Thank you, Racers. Thank you, Restream crew. I've been Verts, and my co-commentator has been Blackwax. I just want to say thank you. Hope everybody has a great night.